Well, hello everyone, welcome. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode and the battlefield. Today, we are taking this Castrum. Eventually, first there's another quest or two to do, and also another little bit of side business that I'm not sure if it'll be interesting, but it might be, so I figured, what the heck, we'll try it on camera and kind of see what happens. So as we've been running around doing our grinding, fighting things, we have been occasionally collecting these little field note items, handwritten notes on the history and character of the fourth formidable healer, Dunbu Pir Potitis. Basically, these little field note drops that I don't think they're all about enemies. No, that one's about Basalian, that are basically like little lore bits, I think, and you can use them, which adds them to your field record. Where's my field record? Hang on. There it is, right, it was in my little collection thing, which you barely ever have cause to go digging into, but yeah, you can get little lore notes and background about various characters, enemies, or friends that you find out here, which is really cool. This little stint in Bosnia is already going to be a very long side story regardless, so I'm not going to collect and read all of these things, but if you are curious to know more, you're probably the sort of person who's already playing 14, but these things are also going to be available online somewhere else if you're wanting to check them all out. I think it's very cool. I love this system. I think this is a great idea on their part. Anyway, and these other things I remembered or looked up and then remembered, right, these are things for the relic, fancy weapon thing. I could take it out to Geralt and whatever. Not important for what we're doing. I need to go check in on Lilia and get these quests going. We've got a Castrum to storm today, ostensibly. Lilia appears lost in thought, but you are certain there is only one thing on her mind. Listen, Durman, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I think I know how to find Mikoto. You said Misia waited until after the crystal's focus had absorbed ether from the area before making off with it in Mikoto, right? Well, if we can use this equipment to trace the ethereal signature of the charged crystal focus, maybe it'll lead us to Mikoto too. That's assuming, of course, they're being kept in the same place. We're going to want to cover the entire southern front, and for that, at least 2 more sensors need to be set up out there. You think you're up to it? Absolutely, leave it to me. I found 2 spots that should give us maximum coverage. Here, let me mark them on your map. I know it's a long shot, but we have to try, right? We sure do. Where are these spots? Okay, not too bad. Let me go right out there and drop them things off. Here we go. Observation site number 1. All ready to fall through the ground plane, ma'am. All set? Then I'll start up the remote scanner. That should do it. 1 more, and with any luck, we'll track down the crystal focus and Mikoto. That's the hope. All right. Time to go riding a ways north. Let's go. Here we are. Gotta say, I know it's very, dreary looking out here compared to Eureka locations, but I like the strong theming out here. Feels like we're doing something important. All set? Then I'll start up the remote scanner. Perfect. Come back to base and I'll see if I can't track down the crystal focus. Fantastic. Back to base it is. We return. Ah, you're back. Not an encouraging expression to see upon my return. What's going wrong? Trouble tracking down the crystal focus? No, everything went according to plan. I managed to locate the crystal focus. The thing is... It's as we feared. The crystal focus is being held at the Castrum. Makes sense when you think about it, what with it being the enemy's main stronghold and all. Sorry for wasting your time out there, Derman. Nonsense, Lilia. For all we know, the focus could have very well been moved to Dalmasca. But, thanks to you and Blade Darami, we've removed all doubt as to its whereabouts. That's true, I suppose. The reason for Messia's betrayal yet eludes us, but the Garleans are not like to understand how to make use of the crystal focus, not without assistance. Meaning, Mikoto is, in all likelihood, being held at the Castrum as well. Then there's still a chance to save her. Meanwhile, at Castrum Lacus Litore... Yes, over here. Messia, where... You're going to answer a few questions for me. We can start with how you're able to glimpse into the future. Messia, why? Why are you helping the Empire? I'm the one asking the questions here. Now answer. No, not until you tell me why. I don't think you understand your situation here. Or are you truly that naive? Is it for power? Renown? Have you always been on their side? I know you, Messia. You're a woman of conviction, and you wouldn't do something like this without good reason. If you know me as well as you say, I would hazard you already have the answer. You would truly place your faith in Noah van Gebrandt? Oh, cool art. I've read about him and his father, the famed knights from the Republic of Landis. They say he was a man of vision. He was made legatus of the 4th Imperial Legion, and from what intelligence I could gather, he pays no heed to the race, parentage, or creed of his followers. And that same impartial judgment extends to the provinces under his control, if I'm not mistaken. Havens for those seeking a life free of prejudice and hate. But do you truly believe equality can be found under an imperial standard? My. The dutiful bookworm can read between the lines. Perhaps I gave you too little credit. I can but posit theories and conjecture, for I will never truly know of the indignity your family suffered. Nor can I speak on the alarming disparity between the nobles and the commoners, even before Bosnia succumbed to imperial rule. As I understand it, it was a country where the needs of the few outweighed those of the many. The wealthy were free to forge their own futures, while the poor were free only to die, should they fail in their daily struggle to survive. And even if some few nobles were opposed to the nation being governed by an oligarchy, their peers would never relinquish their power and wealth for the greater good. While that Bosnia's no more, I realize that there are those among the resistance who yearn for the halcyon days of their forebears, who would judge you based on your lineage rather than the content of your character. Their voices are but echoes of a reprehensible past. You should understand better than anyone the future Bysalian and Marsak mean to build, a way forward paved with dignity and equality. Times change, Messia. People change. No, people don't change. They only fool themselves into believing they can. I was ridiculed, marginalized, treated like an other. By the mere virtue of being highborn, theirs was the righteous path, mine the immoral. Basalian and Marsak claim they want to put an end to the discrimination, but there is no escaping their true nature. Their hatred must be driven out with force. Would putting your faith in them be such a terrible thing? Oh, if you knew the depths of their malice, their treachery. Perhaps I should tell you of the tragedy of Queen Gunhildr and the great betrayal of her followers. I'm sure you've heard the legends of Save the Queen. The blessed blade that could only be wielded by Queen Gunhildr. Yes, I've heard the tales. When her kingdom came under attack during the Fourth Umbral Calamity, she brought the full might of the blade to bear to save her people, and in so doing gave her own life. A bittersweet end to her reign, but I fail to see what that has to do with anything. Before the Fourth Umbral Calamity, Gunhildr's blades foresaw their coming doom. As the kingdom's acting political body, they saw it as their duty to save their people at any cost, and so devised a plan to save Balzia using the power of the Holy Blade. The Queen's body would serve as a conduit for the Blade's power, allowing them to summon a god. No, you don't mean... A primal summoning, yes. Though perhaps it would be more fitting to call it an icon. The blade was, after all, originally a relic stolen from the Elegans. An icon? Heavens forfend. There was one problem, however. The Queen knew that once she took in the power of this god, there'd be no turning back. She was a coward, and despite her duty to protect the people, she chose her own life over theirs. Yet Gunhildr's blades would not see their efforts come to naught, for they soon realized the sacrifice need not be the presently reigning queen, nor did they need to be of noble blood. And so, a low-born shrine maiden was chosen to ascend the throne. Obedient to a fault, she did not hesitate to give her life to forestall the coming calamity. Would that this tragic tale end there, but I'm afraid it takes a rather bloody turn. You see, despite sacrificing herself to save Balzia, the new queen did not die, nor was she consumed by the icon's power. There was a woman of Ishgard, Isael, capable of such a feat, but to embrace the power of the icon and to retain her sense of self, that would mean this queen possessed the Echo. And her power struck fear into the hearts of Gunhildr's blades, for a god now walked among them. But rather than the puppet the blades had wished for, she was pure and free, and for that she was slain. The blades would not, could not risk her discovering the truth of her ascension, that she was but a sacrificial lamb to save her highborn brethren. They claimed the queen had gone mad, drunk with the god's power, leaving them no choice but to slay her. She was then buried, along with the blade and the truth. Where did you hear this? Let's just say it's a bit of family history. Now, answer my question. How are you able to see the future? I don't know. I've never been able to use it of my own volition. I suppose it doesn't matter. We'll drag it out of you soon enough. I have concerns. Just thinking about what they might be doing to Mikoto, I please, you have to save her. Gonna try. gonna succeed, probably, given the caliber of people I'm traveling with these days. But, yes. Visalian, I think we're about ready. Visalian is determined to take Castrum Lacus Litore and would have you join him. Let's do it! I am here. What do you need? The time has come, Dermond. This day we shall take Castrum Lacus Litore. On behalf of the Resistance, I offer you my humblest thanks. We could not have come this far without your aid. It's kind of you to say to the cameraman, but I'll take it. What say you, my friend? Are you prepared to rout the Garleans? Heck yeah. I mean, you all seem to have it very much under control, but you could not stop me if you tried. He said confidently from behind 30 or 40 stronger people. The battle for the Castrum will no doubt be the fiercest yet, but do not forget your training. Do not forget all we have fought for. You are Gunhilder's blades, and by the Queen's grace shall we prevail this day. Now let us make ready for battle. For Bosnia! Reports suggest a powerful mage presently commands the Castrum, and the continued presence of Leon Sashelsos will no doubt prove troublesome, to say the least. Still, with you at our side, I am confident we will be victorious in the end. You've got nothing to worry about. Oh, this is exciting. It's so fun. I've never seen any of this stuff. You may now access the critical engagement, the Battle of Castrum Lacus Litore. This critical engagement will be initiated when a sufficient number of players with access to Castrum Lacus Litore are present on the southern front. Furthermore, by completing other skirmishes and critical engagements, the time required before the Battle of Castrum doesn't matter. Be sure to prepare lost actions from the lost finds cache and so on and so forth. Yes. All right. Great. So, we are about ready for the big fight. Now, they call this a critical engagement, similar to those big boss fights we've been doing out and about, but this is really much more akin to a proper dungeon. Like 24 to 48, how many people are in this one? I forget. A large number of people. It pretty much just is a standard dungeon or raid format. And it's going to be a pretty good time. I'm excited to see. So, let me rejoin up with the larger crew, and we'll start doing the work required to crack this thing open. Apologies if the editing gets a little bit all over the place during this stretch here especially, because entry to Castrum Lacus Litore is a kind of time-gated thing, and the amount of time it takes can be somewhat variable. Let me try to explain. So, once we have entered this instance of the Bosnian Southern Front, generally, the Castrum will not open and allow people to queue to go into this 48-man raid, essentially, until the instance has been open for, I think, about an hour. But you can speed that timer up by running around and doing some skirmishes and critical engagements and such. So that's what we're going to be running around trying to do, doing as many of these as we can all across these maps, trying to speed that timer up so that we can get in. We're also trying to instigate a duel or two as we go, so that we can hopefully get ourselves a nice experience buff to double the amount of experience we're going to gain from this very experience-rich Castrum run. On that note, actually, fun story, when we first arrived in this instance, there was already somebody preparing to do a duel, somebody who wasn't in our group at all. And it turns out that this particular player, Indigo, is someone that our Dantalis crew has met before. Yesterday, when they were coming out here to do a practice run of Castrum Lacus Litore, they stumbled upon this particular player practicing doing this exact duel. And like I said last episode, duels are very hard. She didn't manage to succeed at winning this duel last time. So this was her next attempt the following day. And we got here just in time to spectate as she finally beat it. She was definitely not expecting an audience this size of people cheering for her or flooding onto the field after she won to congratulate her, but I thought that was very sweet. And she managed to get us that nice experience buff. So, big thanks to guest star Indigo for the help. Anyway, where was I? Right, so we're still doing as many skirmishes as we can squeeze in, trying to get critical engagements to happen, doing those for as long as it takes. And I think we might have, yep, it looks like the Castrum run is now available for us to queue. So we're going to get ourselves all enlisted. Hopefully we'll all get in there. We're not the only people in this instance of the Bosnian Southern Front today, so we may have a non-Dantalis guest or two joining in, which is fine. Especially if they're first-timers. That means they'll be fortunate enough to be carried through this thing by a very practiced, very capable group. Works out for everybody. Actually, while we're waiting to queue, fun game mechanics side detail that will mean nothing to most of you, but that I think is pretty funny. So the main tank in my party here, Eos, is actually playing a white mage. I don't remember if I explained this part, but because of the way those unique Bosnia actions and abilities and such work, you can kind of fill any role you want as any character class, which takes a little time to wrap your head around, but is really cool. The equipment they're using, though, they are going into this fight with a level 1 wand and shield. And that's actually going to work here because of a very interesting quirk in the way Bosnia stat scaling works. And wands and shields are something that you will almost never see a white mage using because they are kind of a relic of the 1.0 era of Final Fantasy XIV. Back in the day, black mages and white mages, or conjurers and thaumaturges, I should say, in their level 0 to 30 stretch, could wield these as an alternative to the staves and the rods or whatever else it is that they actually use now. Past level 30, there's really no reason to use these whatsoever, and they haven't been adding new wands or light shields like this for those classes since then. However, because Bosnia scales up all of your gear to level 80, regardless of what you're wearing, it turns out that not only can a white mage go back to equipping such a thing if they want to, doing so can actually give them a pretty hefty defense boost, making them far better equipped to play that tanking role. And I just love this weird little relic of old Final Fantasy XIV design that's been long abandoned, having some tiny niche use in a bit of side content years later. That delights me very much. Anyway, the timer's just about run down, and we're about ready to queue, so I'll see y'all inside. Welcome to Castrum Lacus Litore. We're here at last. And you can already see some of the main players in this first boss encounter we're going to be doing. So, this initial boss encounter is actually split into two separate ones. Half of our group is going to accompany this tunnel armor drill thing forward from here toward those front gates. And they're going to have to try to protect that tunnel armor from a bunch of ads and a boss that's going to join the fight pretty shortly once we've started. The rest of us are going to go above. We're going to go up some of the ladders up either side and fight that thing just on the other side of the wall up there. And these fights have to happen somewhat simultaneously because if you pull one of them before you pull the other one, if you try to cheese it and just everyone go gang up on one boss and then go gang up on the other one, then they will enrage and pull out a move that basically kills everyone instantly. So can't do that. You're gonna have to start both fights within about 7 or 8 seconds of each other. These two bosses also need to be defeated at about around the same time. If you defeat one way before the other, a similar outcome will occur where the whole raid will just get wiped. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me double check what you know what? I'm gonna grab one more of these Essences of Breathtakers just for a little bit more safety. I'm not gonna be doing a lot of damage here, to be honest. I'm gonna be, actually some more potions too would be smart. I got the room in the holster. Okay. Just to play it safe, I'm going in pretty defensively here. I'm not main tanking. Heavens no. I'm just gonna try to do a little bit of damage and mostly just stay alive and commentate. Up the ladder we go. Up, up. Nope, up the ladder. Here we go. Up the ladder we go. Challenging ladder for one this short, but I'm making it work. Here's who I'm going to be helping to fight. And I do love that from this vantage point up here on the wall, ready to fight Brionac, you can see the other battlefield down below. Oh, and there's the 4th Legion Helldiver. I'll try to remember to check in on them from time to time, in between the dodging everything. I think we're about ready to start the fight, though. Yep. Go time.
Our efforts will all be for naught if the tunnel armor fails now. Do whatever it takes to defend it.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to watch out for is these electrically charged little arm things it has. Whoopsie, there. False Thunder, this move where it raises this arm to the side, you want to get behind it because it's going to cleave across. Like so. Don't want to be in the path of that. This next move it's doing, also very important, Anti-War Machina Machinery. It's going to spawn this little Magitech core here and charge up a big move. If we let it finish charging that big move...
The tunnel armor is under attack! Strike the enemy's core!
He's explained it better than I did, but yeah. Tons of damage would be done to the tunnel armor down below. Keep those Helldivers away from the tunnel armor! So yeah, down below, that crew is fighting all the ads, and the sort of like main boss down there. I'll try splicing in some footage from these other players who've been recording some stuff now and then, just to give you some other angles on the action. Big thanks to all of them for recording things. All right, so some little orbs have been spawned in the field, and we want to be standing near white-colored ones because they're going to spawn a little donut AoE. So that's the safe place to be. It's working! It's working! Oh, here comes another False Thunder. Get behind the arm. For safety. Yes, other colored orbs can spawn when it uses that move. Energy generation is, I think, the one.
Helldivers! We must guard the tunnel armor from them at all costs!
But yes, okay, so purple orbs are going to drop a big circle AoE, so you want to be far away from those. And we can get other weird combinations of colored orbs and things, but I don't think this fight's going to last long enough for us to see them. Meanwhile, the downstairs group doing a great job on that 4th Legion Helldiver, the main boss they're fighting. Boss HP bars looking more or less even. Good, good. So far, so good. Oh, here's another move. Gotta watch out for these little alternating rectangular AoEs, which is pretty easy to do. Pretty easy as mechanics go. No big deal. We've almost got this. Crew is doing great. And I'm also here, filling my role as team war photographer. All right, boss almost dead. Going pretty good.
More Helldivers coming in fast! Quickly, get rid of them!
The boss is dead, though. Okay, now it's gone.
Briannock has fallen!
Quickly, deploy reinforcements! They did, but then the boss was dead and the reinforcements went away.
We're through the wall! We mustn't get complacent. It's not over yet.
Indeed, all right. Now our two groups will rejoin, and we will drill our way through the big door, which is a shame. It's a very big, pretty door. Feel bad for destroying the door, but so it goes with war. Oh, we need to get out of the way. The tunnel armor's about to do the drilling thing. We should not be standing right in front of the big drill. Here it comes. And we're through.
Storm the Castrum. Everyone, forward!
And here we go. Coming up on our next fight. Not a boss fight. Oh, hang on. Let me grab the spoils. I keep forgetting, in this sort of dungeon out here in Bosnia, everyone has to grab their own treasure. We can't give these Durs another ilm. Take no prisoners. Kill every last one of them.
That's Albaleo. He's a crafty one. Watch out for his spells.
We're gonna try to. This one's not a full-on boss, just sort of a mini-boss with a whole lot of trash enemies. I think we're about ready to go. Yes? All right. Charge! Get him! There's so many things. We're not gonna be seeing Durman for a little while. I'm just sort of in the middle of the everything. Durman's okay, folks.
Enough of this. Hit them with everything we have. Now's our chance. Attack!
So many mechs! And a few other things thrown in. Abaleo, where'd you get monstrosities? I guess it has been a lot of Beastmasters out here. Okay. There we go. Mini boss down. Wait. What's happening? We beat him, though. What's going on? Oh, the ads still happen, I guess. We have a very strong group here, so we're kind of tearing through some of these fights very quick if we don't intentionally slow down. I did not know that the ads spawned regardless, even if you'd already taken the boss out. That's funny. They leave me with no choice. The day has come to demonstrate the power of the Auracite. Close the barricade. I need more time. It seems he's eluded us, for now at least. We'll need to get past that barricade. Everyone, split up and search for a way to open it. A number of our countrymen were taken captive. They're likely being held somewhere in the Castrum. Yeah, so this brings us to an interesting little stretch here, where... Retreat! Retreat! Burn all documents! Execute the prisoners! You see this big group of like 6 hallways and a whole bunch of rooms? We are all splitting up into smaller groups to go into each of these hallways and to try to find a prisoner in each of these hallways. Like there's a prisoner and an executioner together in one of these 3 rooms in each of these hallways, and we're all trying to get in there and find them and kill the executioner before they can kill the prisoner. Looking, doors opening soon. Hey, there they are. Okay. Take down the executioner. Save the prisoner. Going good. Yeah. We moved pretty quick. I have a feeling we're going to be able to save everybody. There's 1 prisoner per hallway. And now that we've found this prisoner, prisoners are definitely highest priority. We're actually going to go drop down and help our crew down in the west wing over here in this hallway. Fighting this hexadrone thing first. And then checking these 3 rooms to find the prisoner. And save the prisoner. Almost got it. Okay. All right. Check the rooms. Sweet. Okay. Just in time. Their health bar was getting a little low in here. Good work, team. Sounds like everyone else has saved their prisoner as well. No prisoners remain to be saved. Excellent. All right. I think we have saved all of them. Good work, team. Now, in another of these little rooms in each hallway, there's going to be a little red button. Someone needs to stand on each of the little red buttons in order to bring down the barricade and allow us to kind of move on with the rest of the dungeon. Once we've finished fighting all the things first and it's safe, of course. Come on. Die. Thank you. All right. All right. Buttons have been stood on. And I believe the buttons have been stood on in all the other wings as well. Nope, wait. We haven't got up to the northwest one yet. That's right, we bailed early to go save more prisoners. So now someone's heading up there to stand on the button. Oh, there we go. It's open. Continue to the inner reaches. Not another step closer. Time to show you what the 4th Legion's made of. Is there no ends to them? There will be eventually. It's not even that sturdy. This'll take no time at all. And down you go. Beautiful. All right. They finally run out of soldiers to throw at us, it seems. Forward! Someone's there. Wait. Is that? Who is it? It's our next boss, I'll tell you that much. Hello? Oh, Abaleo again. You fools. What have you done? Gabranth would see Bosnia reborn, yet you would bear your steel against him. By denying the path of righteousness, you've sealed your fate. The heavens have spoken, and they are wroth indeed. So this is what it is to be a god. I am a Dramalek. Now no regret, a sinner's recompense. Careful now, something's not right. Be on your guard. The crack of lightning, the roar of flame, rumble of earth, the grip of ice, the rush of water, the howl of wind. At their center, I stand, alone and omnipotent. He's talking a very big game, but our group is actually going to try to fight him very slowly, because he's not very sturdy. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. So, this is kind of the main mechanic of this fight. The boss is going to spawn 2 elemental orbs, and they're going to come in toward the center. And once they reach the center, depending on what element they are, that's going to kick off one of several different AoEs. Those were water orbs, which kicked off a knockback, so we wanted to stand nearby it. Now I think we're going to see another one. Which elements? Fire. Okay, fire is going to give us a kind of pyretic effect when those hit the center, which pyretic hurts you if you move or attack. So we're all sheathing our weapons and standing perfectly still. Their damage is based on movement. And we're fine. Okay. Resume beatdown. Yeah, our group is definitely going to take this very slow because I think they're wanting us to actually be able to see most of the mechanics. All right. Wind orbs coming in. That's going to be a donut AoE. So we're staying toward the center for safety. So far, so good. Now the boss is going to drop these little lightning orbs, which are going to chain together, and whichever lightning orb is near the outermost edge is going to eventually explode in a very big AoE, so we're moving all the way over here. There it is. Okay, we're fine. Resume slow damage. From your shattered corpse, I shall craft a monument to agony. All right, so now he's upping his game. He's using 2 elemental orbs, so we need to watch out for both effects back to back. First, I believe, will be the water knockback, and then the fire pyretic. So we'll want to get knockback, and then don't move. Okay, we're good. A little bit of an escalation in the mechanics. Okay, now he's just going to bring down some tornadoes, which are going to persist and slowly move around the arena. And we don't want to run into it, but if we do, it'll, I think, just do some damage and kind of fling us up into the air and stun us a little bit. But they move pretty slow, so hopefully we can avoid. Resume. Slow. Damage. Oop, we getting more orbs? We are. Further escalation. 2 pairs of them now. First of all, we're going to get this pair of water and wind, so knockback and then donut AoE, so we need to get knocked back and then immediately move in. Quick, like. Quick, 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 quick. And now water plus fire again. Okay, so knockback and then don't move. And okay, all right, some of us jumped the gun a little bit, but otherwise we're okay. There are other elemental orbs that can happen, like Earth, which kind of does this cascading bunch of ring AoEs, or Ice, which is kind of the opposite of the pyretic effect. You need to be moving so you don't freeze. Whoop, wind. Can't be forgetting about the wind. Oh, right, also these arcane spheres. We need to destroy all of these, or he's going to call down a meteor, and that's going to wipe us. And wind. Wind, can't be forgetting about the wind. I'm really sick. Oh dear. This dang wind, man. Get me out of here. Okay, I'm fine. Almost got him down, but there's the lightning orbs again. Where's the last one? That one. Okay, nope, not that one. The other one. Move this way. Move this way. We're fine. And the boss is nearly dead. There we go.
To think that he would go to such lengths to surrender himself body and soul to that devil. There's no time to dwell on that. We must press on.
And now we get so many personal spoils, not just for beating the boss, but also for every prisoner we saved, which was all of them. So let me, hang on, there's a lot of people around. Let me try looting every chest, and then we will continue. So many goodies. I will put these to good use later. But okay, up the stairs, let's go. We got one more big fight to do. Here we are. Come, Tawan. We have a spot of game that wants for hunting. Lion, Remhelsos, and Dawon. Big bird, lion, thing. Big thing. Big mean pet. The pet will be our main boss for today, although there is a bit of a wrinkle to this one, which we'll see about halfway through the fight. One moment, let's let everyone finish preparations. And I believe we're about ready. Commence battle! Charge! I have to hand it to you. I never thought you'd make it this far. I'm going to enjoy this. So, this move, this first one, Molting Plumage, is going to spawn a bunch of feathers on the field. Red ones and these little white ones. The white ones are going to do donut AoEs, so we want to be kind of standing just under them. The red ones are going to do regular circles. Not a lot of safe places to stand, but pretty straightforward. Ooh, Fervid Pulse. This one's important. So, Fervid Pulse will do a big cross AoE on the boss's current location. We're going to need to know that for a bit later. There's another pulse move, though, that I think is going to happen after the boss jumps over here. Yep. Frigid Pulse. That one's a donut AoE. These two moves will be paired in some interesting ways pretty soon here. Go, Dawon. Your prey awaits. Okay, obey. This is a very important move to watch out for here. That's it, just like I taught you. You see these three markers here, marked 1, 2, and 3. They have little symbols in them, either a ring or a cross. The boss is going to jump to each of these and do that AoE that it was inside the little circle, one after another in sequence. So now it's jumping to the second one and doing another cross AoE, I believe. Yes? Good. And there was a ring inside this third one, so let's get close. Inside the safety of the danger donut. Okay. We've mostly survived it. Not bad. This calls for something special. Lion the Beast King calls monstrous birds to his aid. Oh dear. The air turns foul with a terrible storm of feathers. So now we've got 4 birds outside the arena that are going to blow these feathers, the red and white ones, remember, to a different location. So we need to watch out for where those feathers are going to end up and try to find a safe space there. I'm just going to stick with the white feathers. That's easiest to remember. Now look out for that, pretty basic AoE. Okay, so my little group is gathering over here for reasons that'll make sense in a second, because we're about to go into the second phase of this fight, where Lion himself becomes a little bit more of a direct and immediate problem. One of the parties... Oh, I can't let you lot have all the fun. Why not come over here and let me take a swing? Lion the Beast King would do battle at Majesty's price. So, our little crew here. Dawon, are you enjoying this as much as I am? Nothing like a good scrap to get the blood pumping. So now our little party here has been pulled into a duel inside the final boss fight, which is kind of cool. Not quite as mean as the duels outside, fortunately. It's not a just pass-fail hard mode thing, but there are still plenty of moves we need to watch out for. Like this one, Heart of Nature, which is going to do sort of a cascading earth AoE here, like, there we go. Doing cascading rings outward from the center. Whoop, get behind him. Taste of Blood's gonna hit most of the arena. We're fine, okay. We're really trying to burn him down as quickly as possible. If we don't kill him fast enough, then that will wipe everyone. I don't think we're gonna have a problem. A challenge at last. Oop, okay. Now we've also got these little sort of cascading, well, no, walking earth AoEs that are just going to kind of go around the outside ring here. Oop, don't be standing there. Steady on. No need to get carried away. Hey, we beat him, I think. Well, as enjoyable as it's been, it's time I called it quits. And we'll get shunted back into the main fight into AoEs. Oh no, we're fine. Okay. The beast grows docile without its master. You've prevailed against Lion the Beast King. Congrats, the text went away. Not quite what I had in mind. Dawon, let's try it again. You better not mess it up this time. All right, so now Dawon's going to do that same move as before, but with 4 stops. So we've got cross, and then 2 rings. So first to 1, cross AoE, and then 2, cross AoE. Look out. And then ring. Get close. And then 1 more ring. Scoot. All right. And now I think we've pretty much seen all the moves, so let's just burn this boss down. Go team, go. Lion the Beast King calls monstrous birds. Oh, the birds are back. Great. We might be able to beat the boss before then, but just in case, I'm going to watch for where some of these plumes are going. Hurry. Hurry. We're fine. Kill it. Yay. Go team. Tawan was defeated, so they've bark and bite then. Perhaps I'll take your measure another time, until we meet again. Great work, everyone! A nice, smooth run. Castrum Lacus Litore complete. The first of 3 dungeon-adjacent raid kind of encounter things in Bosnia, and we're through it. Feels good. Excellent work, everyone. Thank you for making time and joining me, helping me get through this stuff. The amount of preparation these folks did. I'll explain more in a later episode, because goodness, these folks really prepared, and I appreciate how much time they put in. Good work, all of you. But okay, let me say goodbye to these folks, grab some loot before I go, and then we'll see where the story goes. Feels good.
Something troubles you. Their soldiers fell so easily, fled so quickly. This all seems too easy. We struck before the reinforcements could arrive, as planned, and our soldiers fought valiantly. If we believe our victory came easy, it is because your plan was executed to the letter, sir. Perhaps.
Derman! Is Mikoto all right?
We must split up and search for her.
I don't believe that will be necessary.
You are outnumbered and outmatched, Messiah. Release her, and we may yet be lenient with you.
I'm not here to bargain, Basalian.
Please, Messiah. Whatever your grievance may be, I'm certain we can find a solution. But you have to let her go. We can build a better Bosnia, Messiah. Together.
Ever the optimist, and likely the first to go when this is all over. Derman, if you would see her unharmed, come over here. Nice and slowly.
Ready the blades, and wait for an opening.
How I have waited for this moment. Derman, I'm so sorry. Careful. It would be a pity if I were forced to sully a holy relic such as this. Would you care to enlighten our friend here as to its history?
What is she planning? And what is that queer-looking blade?
Here. We're going to take a little trip into the memories of this blade. If you wish to keep Mikoto in one piece, that is. Mikoto! Do it. Do it now.
Messiah intends to explore the memories of that blade. Perhaps while she is occupied, we can... No. It sounds as though Mikoto and Derman will be going with her. Interrupting them may have dire consequences. We must wait for our moment. Is it done then? She does not breathe, and her pulse has ceased. We were fortunate to catch her unawares. Were we to have incurred the wrath of the blade, she may have destroyed us all. A quick, painless death. Like as not, she did not even realize what happened.
Is this the memory of the last queen? "'Tis true the blade possessed a terrible power, but was this the only way? I thought myself able to control it, to harness its power for good. And yet, it seems I was found wanting. At the very least, I shall take heart in the knowledge my people are safe. Naught but lies and deceit. They used you, betrayed you, slaughtered you, and dragged your name through the dirt. Now rise, my queen. Exact your vengeance. Erase their accursed legacy from the pages of history. No, leave her be! Go, claim what is yours. I am troubled by this. Death to the deceivers. In the name of the Queen! Retreat! Mikoto, no! Marsak! Durman, we must withdraw and regroup. All of you, run! Oh, hey. Haven't seen you in a while. I was going really good till right up at the end there. But hey, been a while. Waggy.
Nothing is ever simple with you, is it? I only came here to deliver a message from Lady Fran. I don't understand what's going on here, but I don't intend on staying long enough to find out. I suggest you keep your time here brief as well.
Yeah, that's probably smart. Don't know that I'm going to do that. I've still got... We do need to technically finish this. I made some big promises.
We were so close. So bloody close. Messia will pay for this.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. Messia always seemed so kind and caring. Why did it have to come to this? I would like to believe the Empire's deceived her somehow, but I know it's not that simple. We have to stop her, Derman.
So the legends of her power are true then. We thought them mere fairy tales.
It wouldn't be the first time one turned out to be true. Trust me.
But she is the protector of Bolzia. Why would the Queen do such a thing?
Messia, she's planted a seed of hatred within the Queen. The Queen's memory was altered then? That hatred seemed to be reaffirmed when the Queen looked upon the soldiers bearing the weapons of her guard. Messia was likely anticipating that reaction.
Death to the deceivers, they said. Gods, what happened all those years ago? Let us not dwell on the past. The blades must be saved.
I'm afraid the effects of tempering cannot be undone. Or rather, a cure has yet to be found. Well, I don't know if that's technically true anymore. We're working on it.
Damn it all. Was this part of our plan as well? Let us return to Gangos. There's still much for us to discuss. Understood.
Oh, right, yes. I too will be going to Gangos with everyone. Here we are. Thank goodness Mikoto was okay. No time to relax, though. Not as long as the 4th Legion is still out there up to no good. Anything you need before I get back to work? Nope, I think, for the moment, we good. Messia always seemed so kind at... Right, same text as before. I'm good for now. We'll talk about some of those other things later, maybe.
To lose the Castrum and Gunhilder's blades both. A heavy and most unexpected blow. It seems that rather than rely on sheer numbers, Menenius had a far more devious scheme in mind all along, and we played right into his hands. Thankfully, reinforcements from Dalmasca have recently arrived, and more from the Eastern Alliance will soon join our ranks as well. Until then, there's naught to do but wait and plan our next move. Now's the time to rest, my friend. You've more than earned it.
I think I agree. We've had a busy day. Meanwhile, at Castrum Lacus Litore. Well, well. Word around here is you summoned a primal, is that right? You certainly know how to make a good first impression, don't you, lass? I've seen similar from Abaleo and that aura side of his, but a primal summoning? That takes a great deal more ether, doesn't it? And I'd imagine even more to control it. You've done well. Now go. Tend to your wounds. That's an order. We have ample time before the resistance returns, and when they do, I'll have need of you again. Understood.
Yes, sir. Poor thing. If only she could learn to let it go, it'd be better for everyone. Well, some more than others. What do you want? I trust you're aware of the request from the 3rd Legion to return to the capital. Of course I am, but Gabranth is in no position to comply with such orders. I thought as much. Not that it matters. Nerva's just like his father Titus, weak and a coward, unfit to give orders, let alone lead a nation. Having spent time serving under Bash, I understand full well your frustration, but the Garlemald you long for is a thing of the past. Though I must say, your plans to stall for time have proven quite effective. One can only hope you're as prepared as our dear Noah for what comes next. What is it you're trying to say? Soldiers with potential like her are not something to be used and discarded like an old boot. We've never considered her to be expendable. She is a valuable asset. For now, at least. Like I always say, death finds a way to weed out the unremarkable and otherwise ill-fortuned. I almost envy you and your that's a word I've never seen in my life. Hang on. Insouciance. It's a very, very fancy way to say nonchalant and show off your vocabulary. I almost envy you and your insouciance. Not that you would ever heed my counsel on such matters, let alone Gabranth's. Says the man who ignores the counsel of peers and superiors both to defend Bosnia. But I really have to hand it to you. Enthralling those resistance soldiers was a fantastic idea. Why bother with persuasion when you have the power to enslave minds? Flattery ill suits you, Leon, even when false. Perhaps, but dirty tricks like that suit you quite well, don't they? You always were a conniving bastard. A real snake in the grass. That I shall take as a compliment. Unforgiven, Unforgotten. Save the Queen, Chapter the 2nd. Yes, we've completed the first chapter of this Bosnia story. Of 2? 3? I don't know. You can now exchange Bosnian coins for gear by speaking with a resistance supplier. Gear provided by the etc., and so on and so forth. Doesn't matter. Hello, how's it going? We're back. And I think we're going to call it for today. We will resume this story next time. Take care until then, all of you. Have a good one. Goodbye.